You may have heard the old saying, is a horse by any other name still a horse? Well, let's talk about it. Welcome to Creepin' It Real. Thanks for joining me. We're talking about 1968, The Blood Beast Terror. Now, this takes a generic Frankenstein storyline, adds in a few bits from other classic horror movies, and just calls it its own. So let me rephrase my opening question. Is a Frankenstein plot by any other name still a Frankenstein movie? In this movie, which is a gothic horror that I literally would have bet any money on was a Hammer film, is not. This is in fact a Tygon movie. This is a production company that released The Blood Beast Terror as their very first film. A Tygon, after looking at their logo, I can only assume is like a liger that I think most of us were introduced to in the movie Napoleon Dynamite. And as Napoleon mentions, ligers were bred for their magical properties. But I'm guessing Tygons were not, because this movie is missing all magic from it. It is competent, but there's a lot of stuff there that is not needed. What we have is Peter Cushing being a detective investigating murders of young men that have deep gashes in their throat and drained of all blood. Obviously, you need this to open up any gothic horror. You know, switch out the men with young women. It doesn't matter. That's how they all have to open. There was a witness to one of these events, but he's gone mad and he keeps mumbling something about massive wings and glowing eyes. Detective Cushing, which that's not his name, I can't remember, comes up with this theory that maybe there's an eagle out there that's attacking people and killing them. Two of these victims are students of a doctor of entomology that's nearby, so they go to pay him a visit. While there, Peter Cushing says to him, "What do you think the probabilities of these attacks being by an eagle?" The entomologist is like, "I don't even want to acknowledge that you said that." Here's the thing. This entomologist actually has a pet eagle. Don't get too excited because that's going nowhere. Just like this eagle theory goes nowhere, there are so many other things in this movie that just are not necessary. At one point, they are watching a play in this movie. They must have performed the whole play, and we got to watch it in real time. Now, what did this do to propel the plot of this film? Nothing. It did nothing but pad the runtime. For the most part, it was competent, but it definitely had a lot of things in it that were unnecessary. This movie does not really deserve a massively long review. So I'm going to jump into some things that could be spoilers. The entomologist has a daughter, but in fact, it is not his daughter. It is his creation. And she is in fact a were-moth. Yes, I did say that. A were-moth. So just like in Frankenstein, Frankenstein creates the monster. In this movie, the entomologist creates his were-moth daughter. And just like in the Frankenstein story, the monster wants Frankenstein to make him a mate. And in Blood Beast of Terror, we have the were-moth that wants the entomologist to create her a mate. And just like the same beats in Frankenstein, wouldn't you believe it, the entomologist is also questioning why he made such bad life choices. In the end, the question still remains, is a Frankenstein plot still a Frankenstein story by any other name? The practical effects, when you do get to see them up close, are fun to see, but there's far too little of it in the film to actually help propel this to a higher score than what I'll give it. Now, I didn't hate this movie. I did, in fact, enjoy the time that I had watching it. I'm going to land on a solid 5 out of 10. But it's not a hard recommend by any means. Now, if you made it this far in this quite short review, you're still a champion. And you know what? You're going to get a gold star today for making it this far. If you have any suggestions for movies I should check out, please leave those in the comments below. I would love to see them. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm Judah. This has been Creepin' It Real, and I'll talk to you later.